Hey, what's up everyone? John here from testprepinsight.com, and today I'm going to be reviewing the Kaplan Bar review course. I did this same review about 1.5 or 2 years ago now, but since that video went live, Kaplan has made some changes to their program and updated some features. So today I'm going to give you my thoughts on Kaplan's slightly revamped course and how it compares to other big companies like Barbri and Themis. And just as a heads up, then since I'll just be covering the major highlights in this video and trying to keep things short, if you find you need some more detail at any point, you can always check out our full detailed written review of Kaplan over on our website. An easy way to get there is just to Google Test Prep Insight Kaplan Bar Review. That's a quick way to find it. Alright, so to keep this review video a little tighter and more to the point, I'm just going to kind of explain how the Kaplan course works and give you my commentary along the way about what I like and don't like. And let's just start with a quick overview of the features that you get so that we kind of have a baseline. So with Kaplan, you get 160 hours of live class time across 8 weeks, video lectures for every subject, 4 hard copy printed textbooks, about 4,000 MBE problems, a bunch of MEE and MPT practice material and prompts, essay grading, and a lot more. Basically with Kaplan, it's all of the standard features, but on steroids. They generally have the same features and content as Barbri and Themis, but just more of it. Except for live classes. That's probably the one exception. And it's actually a great place to start. So Kaplan is the only major bar prep provider to offer live classes. Barbri used to have live classes, and that was actually the version of their course that I took when I passed the California bar about 8 years ago, but not anymore. At this point, Kaplan is the only one with live classes. And after having just repurchased and used this course to review it, I think Kaplan's live classes are actually very good. Basically, you attend live online classes every day for 2 months straight, Monday through Friday, for 4 to 7 hours per day, depending on the topic. These live classes make for an intense grind, but it is definitely worth it, especially if you're one of those people who struggles to self-motivate and stay focused. If you find it hard to find the motivation to put in 8 hours a day, every day, this is probably going to be the biggest benefit of the Kaplan course over Themis or Barbri. The live classes force you to stay accountable and on track. But that's not to say it's the only way you can do the Kaplan course. If you prefer self-paced, that's definitely an option. They offer both the live classes and an on-demand route, all under the same package. Basically, you choose whether you want to attend class or stream on-demand video lectures covering the same topics. That's one of the biggest perks in directly comparing the Kaplan course side by side with other big bar prep providers. It's the flexibility. It's a very nice integrated approach to bar prep. And before moving on that topic of videos, I just gotta say that I really like Kaplan's on-demand video lessons as well. Compared to Themis and Barbri, they're definitely my favorite. Barbri's videos, although they have massive names teaching their classes like Erwin Chemerinsky, they're just snoozers. The professors just stand behind a lectern reading from a script. I mean, I'm not saying that Kaplan's videos are some radical new age departure from that, but I just thought they were definitely more engaging and lively, and I think they're the real highlight of this course. But anyway, whether you go to class online or do the self-paced on-demand course, it's all the same. Kaplan uses a 4-step approach to learning. Learn, practice, review, catch up. It's not complicated or fancy, but I did think it was pretty effective. Essentially, the learn portion is just what you think. It's either your live class or assigned video lecture for the day. Then the practice portion is also self-explanatory. It consists of a series of quizzes, practice problem sets, and sometimes practice essays and performance tests to hammer what you just learned. Then the review section provides a recap of the day's material through reading assignments, exercises online and in your books, live streams, and some other functions. And lastly, the catch-up section is simply there to give you time to wrap up other modules that remain unfinished. Again, it's nothing fancy or complicated. It's actually a pretty old school structural approach, learn, practice, review, and it's very classic. Now, one important thing to note about Kaplan versus the other big two that I keep referencing is practice material. At face value, Kaplan does have way more practice material than the other two, but that's just because about half of Kaplan's practice work is simulated, meaning it's crafted in-house by Kaplan while the others license their problems directly from the NCBE. A lot of people knock this aspect of the Kaplan course hard, and I generally agree, but the reality is that a portion of the Kaplan material is the same licensed stuff. And even the stuff that's simulated, I couldn't really tell the difference. I'm sure if you asked an ex-NCBE employee who writes the questions, they could probably tell, but for me, they didn't seem any easier or harder, and they definitely all cover the same content. So it's for sure a knock on the Kaplan course, but when you get down to brass tacks, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And if there is one upshot of Kaplan's course, it's that you get 4 full simulated MBE test days. They space these mock exams out over 8 weeks, and I think they're really helpful for conditioning you for the MBE day of the bar. That was definitely a useful feature. So that's sort of the main meat of the coursework. live lectures and on-demand videos, as well as the practice material. Now, how you get your assignments and link over to your class or your lecture or practice problem set is also pretty easy. Everything is run through the syllabus, which doubles as the online dashboard, and this serves as the backbone of the course. It directs you to all of your daily tasks and serves as a jumping off point. Frankly, the handholding and clear direction in this interactive online dashboard is one of my favorite aspects of the Kaplan course. A lot of other bar prep companies feel kind of disjointed and you have to jump from resource to resource, which isn't ideal. And if you want to see some pictures or screenshots of what I'm talking about with this Kaplan portal to get a feel for it, make sure to check out that full detailed written review that I mentioned earlier. The link to that will be down below. There's a bunch of good screen grabs over there. All right, so to this point, most everything I've talked about, I've had pretty positive things to say. The video lessons, the live classes, the practice material for the most part, and the online portal. But I did have a couple small gripes with Kaplan. And the first is the prep books are just okay. They're not my favorite or my least favorite. If you're a big text-based learner, then I do think Barbri and Themis both have better hard copy prep books. The class companion books from Kaplan are fine and do the job, but the content review in the Kaplan books is on the thinner side, and their outlines are nothing special. If you're one of these people that's all about print outlines and text, then I do think Themis and Barbri have the edge. And second, I do have one gripe about the user experience. Essentially, every video lesson and quiz pops up in a separate browser tab. It's not a huge deal, but it does get annoying when you spend a full day studying. By the end of the day, you'll have a dozen tabs open and need to jump back and forth across them, and sometimes you lose track. Again, it's a minor gripe, but it is worth noting. Okay, so to this point, we've talked about the major features and important points, except for one, price. And this is actually one of the biggest selling points for Kaplan when compared against its two main rivals, Barbri and Themis. Although most other bar review courses have several options to choose from, Kaplan has just one, the complete bar review course. Well, technically that's not true. Kaplan also has a secondary package called the convenience package, but it's very costly and really geared towards test takers who are taking the bar in several states. But for 98% of bar takers, the complete bar review course from Kaplan will be the choice. This is the course I've described to this point, and it costs $2,200 full retail. Now for reference, the comparable packages from Themis and Barbri both cost $2,600 or more. So right off the bat, you're looking at savings of at least $400 by going with Kaplan, which is a pretty big deal if your firm isn't paying for your prep. And even at that, Kaplan is super aggressive with sales and special promos, and you can almost always find their bar course for 10% off, so make sure to check for discount codes. In fact, I'll do my best to keep the description below updated with the most current discount and promo codes that I can find floating around, so make sure to check out that text below the video screen and maybe save yourself some money if you go with Kaplan in the end. Alright, so that sort of brings us to the end of the major features. In addition to everything I've talked about above, the live classes, video lectures, books, practice problems, etc., you also get a few supplemental resources with Kaplan like live online flashcards, essay grading, and email support. I'm not going to say too much about these features because I didn't use them too extensively, but of these, I do think the email support will be the most useful. Kaplan's team actually mans their chat line 24/7 and was pretty quick responding when I tested it out a couple times, and I think it could be really useful for getting your questions answered. But anyway, that's the major stuff. So let's get to my final thoughts and verdict. But before I get to that, I do just want to mention that every single month here at Test Prep Insight, we actually give away a free prep course to one lucky person. It's super simple to enter. Everyone out there is eligible. I'll put all the details down below in the description, but just know it takes like 10 seconds and hey, you never know. You could win a totally free bar review course. All right, my final verdict. Is Kaplan Bar Prep worth it? Especially over Themis and Barbri. To be honest, Kaplan is actually my favorite of the big three. They give you everything in the kitchen sink in terms of features, and it's all very high quality. They're the only major bar prep provider that gives you live classes, which again, I love, and the on-demand video lessons are rock solid. So from an instructional point of view, I think Kaplan is really hard to beat. Plus, when you layer on the massive amount of practice material and the fact that they give you tons of extras like unlimited essay grading and 24/7 email support, I just think they're a great value at around $2,000 even. Bottom line, it was really hard to find negatives with this bar review course, and I have no problem recommending Kaplan. But anyway, that's all I've got for you. I hope this video was helpful and you learned a little something about Kaplan. If so, make sure to return the favor by subscribing to our channel, liking this video, and dropping me a quick comment below. That would be really appreciated. And again, if you want to see that full detailed written review that I mentioned earlier in this video, just hop on over to our website, testprepinsight.com, or check out the other videos we have on our YouTube channel. We got a bunch of great content out there. But as always, thanks for watching, best of luck, and I'll see you in the next one.